Ciao ragazzi, welcome to another Coyles Calcio corner. Myself, JJ Coyle, and mio gran fratello, Owen Luciano Coyle.
Good evening.
Big week of Champions League football. We're going to look back at the action. And also, Solskjaer in or Solskjaer out. Big debates going on in England. World football. Is Solskjaer the right man? Not that we have the answers, but we'll certainly have the debate. But yeah, what about Ronaldo? The match winner again. I think that's the latest ever goal scored in Manchester United history. It was at 96th minute. And gotta say, Lucci. Jay Lings. That's exactly where I want to start because, I mean, after he gave away the ball in the first match day, people talking to me about why did he bring on Jesse Lingard? Although he brought him on and he scored the week before. Also, he's not United quality. Close season. United should have released him to West Ham. 8 goals in 10 games he got. Prolific. Why wouldn't you want to bring that back and see, just see if you can recreate something? I mean, in the 95th minute, when he came on in the 89th minute, I thought to myself, 1 minute, what's he going to do with 1 minute? What could you do with 1 minute? And then the board went up with 5 minutes stoppage time. And I thought, okay. And then when Ronaldo heads him that ball, or when he gives it to Lingard, I just thought anyone in that position is going to try and shoot and they can't score. There's no room to score. And he's just seeing Ronaldo and he's just giving him back. And I love that sense of not desperation, but in a situation, what do I have? What do I have around me? He's got Ronaldo. He's got CR7. It's 2-1. It's 3 points in the pocket. And there's a guy on TalkSport the other day also. He's talking about a Liverpool fan who spent his whole evening watching United, and to see him win in the 97th minute must have been devastating. And then come back and say, well, I'm delighted because now Solskjaer stays in a job and that's the best news for us Liverpool fans. And United fans can't be happy with that result and that performance. I'm delighted. Yeah, how about that? Because if we would have lost that game, do we get out of the group? Or if we would have drawn that game, it makes it, you know what I mean? 3 points in the pocket. 3 points. Yeah? In the pocket. It's joking here. It's absolutely joking here from Wimbledon. And that's all, not in terms of style of play, but 3 points, move on to the next one. There'll be times to play better in the season. So just your big takeaways from the United game.
Oh, well, looking at the United game, started off typically frustrating against Villareal. We know how Spanish teams like to play. They keep the ball, they keep good possession of the ball, and they almost force you into the press so they can spring you with the counter-attack. And the thing about playing Villareal is they've got the ability to be able to pass the ball out through the back. So even when all our players were pressing them, they even had the goalkeeper, the extra man. You can see the way City play football. Villareal have a similar style. Obviously, I think City are a lot better at it, but when you look at Villareal, they play a similar way. Great on the ball. All Spanish teams, fantastic in terms of technical play, keeping the ball. And obviously United are at home at Old Trafford and we're getting frustrated. And they've had a lot of chances, to be fair. Dalot and Telles, defensively, had me worried. I mean, the left winger, I can't remember his name. Can you remember what the guy was called? For Villareal.
He did. He did say Dalot
was talking about him on BT Sport, and he just said that this guy was a real player, and he looked like he had Dalot's number. Tellers on the other side looked a bit suspect, and they scored the goal, and it didn't feel good. It wasn't a good game to watch. I remember being on a few WhatsApp chats, and the mood in the camp wasn't good. But all of a sudden, and what I did love in the game, I want to talk about Bruno for a second. I know I'm slightly going off topic and we have got structure to these things, but Bruno, he's got the captain's armband. He's running around making these tackles, and he was the one shining light in that poor performance for me from United for 65 minutes. And then he clips that ball in for Telles. And I tell you what, I just saw a different left. It was like the first time I'd seen the proper Telles that I've seen on YouTube and at Porto turn up for United with that wonderful left foot he's got. That was fantastic. And then as soon as he got that, I thought, you know what, United are up for it. And then I saw people warming up and he brought Matic on, and I was thinking to myself, what is he going to do? What is he going to do here? Who's he going to bring on? Because whoever he needs to bring on, I don't even know if they can make an impact really. And he's brought on Lingard and Cavani. Now, you've already mentioned Lingard. What I love about Lingard is his energy. And obviously, after everything he's been through, the fact that he's saying to himself right now, do you know what? I'm going to give my best. He had a shocker a couple of weeks ago in the Champions League, but the guy keeps going, and he's a United player through and through. And do you know what, Lings? I'm not sure how you do it, but I back you.
Jay Lings.
Yeah, I back you. I'll learn that for next time. Apologies for not knowing it now. I thought you were incredible, but Cavani. Oh, Cavani.
Edinson.
I've been eulogising over you over the years since you were at Napoli, and you've come to United, and that sprint that you did to win the ball was epic. Was everything that I want to see as a football fan who watches Manchester United. That is everything I want in my Manchester United players. But not just that. Just before the goal, before he managed to square it back, the way he lost the ball but just fought to shoulder. Every single United fan knows what I'm talking about. The way he leaned into that player to win the ball back, and that created the goal. I mean, obviously fantastic from Lingard, and well, Ronaldo. What have we got left to say about the guy?
Well, just taking it back a few steps there. But first of all, the Edinson. I mean, we never saw a guy work that hard when we were kids. Like, if you were like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just getting into football and you saw that would motivate you. It would motivate you to work. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Motivate you, fella, but
that motivated you.
I do take your point.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's ran past Ronaldo,
it was that team player.
It was a polarizing moment and a real kind of contrast between the two strikers. Ronaldo walking, giving up on the ball. Cavani, let me finish. Cavani sprinting past. I mean, and then Ronaldo putting away the chance clinically when it arrived. Like Ronaldo right now, 1 or 2 touches, left foot, right foot, header. You just back him, especially when the game gets beyond 88 minutes. If something comes his way right at the death, you back him. And so maybe retrospectively, he should have had that penalty, but we can come to that. The other week when Bruno, unfortunately, found Rosed. But yeah, no, I thought it was polarizing because you had the hard work, the graft, but not fully the clinical nature of Cavani. And you had that clinical Ronaldo who's, like I say, doesn't put all the effort in there, but you can't say he doesn't work hard because the preparation for Ronaldo to be available all the time. And Cavani's had a few weeks off, hasn't he, with an injury? And that's the thing with Ronaldo, very rarely has a day off. You know, it felt like a big moment. You know, the whole way it crescendoed. Going back to Spanish teams, playing teams in Europe, everyone's like, oh, Farmers League, whether it be Benfica or Portuguese League. If you play in the French League, anyone other than PSG. But all these teams, and usually they're the top tier teams, haven't they? So they've come through the face. They're never easy to beat on the road. No team in the Champions League, apart from say
if you listen
Sheriff.
If you listen to Bruno's interview last night, he said everything that you want to hear as a Man United football fan, as a captain of Manchester United. The way he spoke and the way that he said that it's fine at this level. It doesn't matter who you play. You know, if teams like Sheriff are beating Real Madrid, if they're beating teams like that. And, you know, you've got Benfica winning, you've got unexpected results up and down the Champions League. And it just shows
young boys against United.
Exactly. It just shows that at this level, it is the fine margins. And that's why you bring players like Ronaldo into the club.
That's exceptional, well put. Just what I was saying is that with the teams, they're always difficult, but Spanish teams in particular got a history of coming up short, drawing. I think we've got several draws to Villareal.
It's just difficult to play against because they keep the ball. And the thing is with Spanish teams, they don't mind just passing it sideways and backwards. You know, in England, you pass the ball sideways or backwards and you're getting berated. Oh, you're boring and you can't play football. In Spain, we know, going over to Italy every summer and playing over there, how they are. And it's, you know, you go over to Italy and it's 1 or 2 touch. That's it. You're just passing the ball. Everyone's getting a kick and everyone's getting a tan. and that's playing football in Europe. And as soon as the space opens up, they get the ball forward, and generally they're quite clinical. Luckily for us, we've got an incredible goalkeeper in David De Gea. I mean, he really has come back to his back. And do you know what? I'm really happy to see that because I love De Gea. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, I think that'd be my starting point. If I'm going through the game,
Yeah.
I think David De Gea. We knew
class.
Since the penalty save, but we know. I mean, he's not just back, but he is like looking like the best keeper in the world right now. Right now, listen,
I know. I mean, as brothers, we've grown up all our lives. Always, we want to put a player right to the top. I don't want to start talking. Is he the best goalkeeper in the world? We know that there's a few good goalkeepers out there. I'm a massive Gigi Donnarumma fan, fella, and I know you are too. De Gea, though, as a United fan, I'm just glad he's back in the sticks and he's up to his old tricks. Because I tell you what, I've played a little bit of football back in the day, and I would not like to come across David De Gea for a one-on-one. I think he's brilliant. I think he can use his feet. He's great, but he's so agile, and he keeps making these double saves.
Can we establish though, at his peak, he was the best keeper in the world. At his peak, at his time, he was there for a couple of years. Now,
fella, you've had Gigi Buffon in the net for about three decades, and he's just a phenomenal. You've got Manuel Neuer, you've got ter Stegen, you've got Gigi Donnarumma on the scene right now. De Gea's up there. I mean,
for Manchester United,
goalkeepers in the Prem. Tom Heaton is a great goalkeeper at Manchester United.
See, for Manchester United Player of the Years. And we remember games against Arsenal and Tottenham where he's literally.
I don't think people are going to be disappointed with
he's been
what you're
barraged.
saying about David.
Well, I'll just leave it at this.
I just think to call him the best in the world. I don't think we need to go there with him yet.
Listen, you don't need to go.
10 games in the season. Let him just have a consistent season, and then we can maybe revisit this topic.
You don't need to go there.
We park it for now.
You can park it. I just want to make the point that David De Gea, for me, had become number one in the world, had dropped off that. He wasn't showing the same level of form, but I'm seeing the very best of David De Gea so far at the start of the season.
Listen, you are, but there would be a lot of people who'd say, who would contest that De Gea is the best in the world.
The only thing I'd say, about...
Straight away, people are going to be like, oh, well, he's better.
The only thing I'd say about...
There's so many good goalkeepers out there. What I'd like to say about De Gea, that he's up there. He's one of the best keepers in Europe.
Well, I think he's reached his optimum form, and the start of the season, he's shown to me that he's looked forward.
He's put the work in pre-season.
He's not just
doing.
He rang
Solskjaer up and said, "Listen, I'm coming back early, and I'm fighting for my shirt. I want to stay at Manchester United." Because there's a lot of talk about De Gea going to teams like PSG, because PSG were in the market for another.
He's not just doing his job; he's giving you extra. Is it Halifax that give you extra? De Gea is giving you extra. Yeah, De Gea, listen, the penalty save also. He's not saved a penalty for about 25 years, and he pulls off that save in the 90, dying embers.
I think there's going to be a few brands out there looking to do some TV adverts with De Gea, because you're going to end up buying the products. I mean, the way the guy's keeping it, it's fantastic.
Here's another 2 points I want to make on it. For me, just looking at his start to the season alone, I'm looking at his overall mean performance, like averaging out at about a 9. He's been phenomenal. To me, watching De Gea, he's been back to his best. There's a journalist.
I'm a big De Gea fan.
There's journalists out there, Sam Lockhurst, who's for MEN writer, who's been campaigning for Dean Henderson all last year. Dean Henderson looks like a decent keeper. We've had a look at him when De Gea was off for his child being born, and from what I've seen, no, I think David De Gea. I think David De Gea will still surpass that, but then he's gone up a level. And the other thing that I want to say on David is that, I think with him in goal, playing at this level, United do have a chance of winning silverware this season. And he got a lot of stick in that penalty shootout last year for missing a penalty. When have you seen a goalkeeper get stick for missing a penalty? Then he's on the bench for Spain all summer, even though they got to the semi-finals. Watched them go out on a penalty shootout. I think he's back to his best. A bit like Tellers has pushed on Shaw. You can thank Dean Henderson for at least kicking on David De Gea. So that was my first takeaway, that David De Gea is back to his very best. The second takeaway I had was the fullback